Guys, welcome back to my channel here at Surefitjohnson, and in today's video we are going to talk about US versus Mexican peso currency. And so I recently traveled to Mexico in 2022, and it was very helpful to know if I needed to have pesos with me or if I needed American money, or what was the difference between the two, or like what was the currency difference, because I heard a lot of people talking about being scammed because they end up paying way more for something than they should. And so my biggest rule of thumb was if I wouldn't pay for that price of something in American money, I ain't paying for it in Mexican money. So for example, let's say we are going to the store and we are going to get a bag of Doritos, okay? That's just our example. Here in America, I would not pay more than $3 for a bag of Doritos. Simple as that. So if I saw somebody trying to sell me a bag of Doritos for more money than that, then we ain't having it. So before we get into that, let's talk about conversion. So 1 American dollar equals 20 Mexican pesos, okay? And so if you get confused by that, all you have to do is pull up your calculator, which is what I did a lot before I purchased anything, any souvenirs, any towels, any drinks, any food, anything. Like, I checked my conversion first. And to do that is very simple. And so let's say something was 200 Mexican pesos. So you would put 200 and then you would divide it by 20. Okay, that's $10. Now, would I feel comfortable paying 200 Mexican pesos for one bag of Doritos? Absolutely not. For a little charm bracelet that was handcrafted, maybe, but I would be able to determine if I thought that was worth the price or not because of my conversions. So let's do another conversion. I was sitting on the beach and somebody wanted to sell me a necklace with a shell on it. Now, I respect people's hustle, and I really didn't want the necklace, but I decided to buy it just because I was supporting the hustle. So I asked him how much was it, and for me, I was only willing to pay $5. So let's just convert the other way. If I were to pay only $5 in American money, put 5, and then you would multiply that by 20. So that would be 100 Mexican pesos. So hopefully the conversion of that makes sense. I will write it down in my description box so that you can see the math visual of that, but it's actually pretty simple. I went to dinner and I feel like I got food for very, very cheap, even though stuff looks like a lot because of how it's listed. It is not. So let's say 1,000 Mexican pesos divided by 20. It's $50, right? So I believe I paid $50 for my COVID vaccine. Not vaccine, child. I paid for my COVID test to return back to the US, and I did pay $50. Now, I felt like that was a ripoff because it's free here in America, but they charge that much over there. And then also, it was a house call, so the man actually came over and swabbed me, and I didn't have to go out and find a place. So I was like, fine. So I gave him 1,000 Mexican pesos, which, as long as I know what I'm giving you and I know what I'm spending, I'm like, whatever. So that was 50 American dollars. Like I said, I still think that's very expensive, but that was the price over there, and that is just nothing I can do. So I do suggest you taking pesos with you. I did not use American dollars when I was there at all. Now, could you probably use them in resorts or hotels? It's very possible, but when you know your $1 in American money is literally $20 in Mexico, like, you want to get your bang for your buck. I took out $250 from my bank account, and well, let me tell y'all how I got my money converted. So I am with Wells Fargo, and because I'm with Wells Fargo, they have a currency bank that they can send you money from. So I went online, I filled out the information to have the money sent to me. Now, if you don't live in a very safe place, and they might steal your money, or you don't stay at home, I would honestly not do this. I would just go to the bank and ask them to have it sent there, and so you can pick it up. But what I did was I went online, put in my information. It only took 2 days to arrive to me. It came through FedEx, and I did $250. So that's another conversion for us. So let's see, $250 times 20. That's $5,000 Mexican pesos. And I did not spend all that money. I still have a lot of money left over. And if I did my conversions before, I would have never, you guys, even taken out 250 American dollars, because $5,000 is a lot of money. Who takes $5,000 on a freaking vacational trip? Oh, I know I don't. The vacation itself might be $5,000, but there is no way that I am literally going to spend $5,000 just because on a trip, especially when I've paid for everything that I need beforehand. So a few of the places that I used the currency was, every time that I went to breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I did use Mexican pesos. When I gave them a tip, I did use Mexican pesos. Okay, so a few of the places I did use Mexican pesos is every single time that I went out to breakfast, lunch, or dinner. When I would give people tips, whether it was for valet, whether it was for waiting my table, or the guy who came to do my COVID test, and then also there was a groundskeeper who I gave money to. And to me, the money that I was giving them when I did my division, I'm like, this is not that much money, but to them, it's a lot. Like, if I gave you $1 American for me, and I'm giving you a whole $20 bill for you, a Mexican, you're like, damn, what did I do to deserve that? So that's that. Now, you can also go to a Mexican bank and get your money, your pesos like that. Do not recommend, just because you're in a different place. You do not want to go into a bank and come out. People are watching you, and I don't even know how that whole thing works. They also have ATMs. I would not use an ATM because everybody knows, like, ATMs can be definitely rigged. Somebody can take your card information. And then one of my friends who is Hispanic, she's a Mexican girl, she has told me too, like, ATMs totally off limits. They will take your money. Somebody might be watching you. They might mug you. They can also take your card information and, like, run it up, charge it up, and there's nothing you can do about it. She also told me about her personally using an ATM in Cancun, and her money never coming out of the freaking ATM, but it was continuously money being charged to her account. So I just would stay away from that. Get everything that you need right here in the US or wherever you're from before you travel, especially when you can get it in 2 days. Don't wait 2 days, obviously. At least give yourself a week. And just think about how much money that you want to spend, like what's your spending money that you want to take, and take that. I also went to a couple shops and bought just like some souvenirs and a couple snacks here and there. Other than that, you guys, I didn't spend my money on a lot of stuff. Now, if you want to go like snorkeling or jet skiing or anything like that, if you want to do that with people who are there, who are locals, then I would definitely pay them in pesos, because when I was traveling and I was walking on the beach, people were telling me like, oh, we have this, we have that, and they'll tell you like, oh, we take American dollars, but they prefer pesos because, you know, that's the currency that they use. But also at the ferry at Isla Mujeres, there was a conversion station, which I feel like that's kind of still like a bank. I would just be very careful of that, especially if you were a solo traveler, because I was a solo traveler, so I pretty much paid everything that I wanted to do up front. The other thing that I would have bought would have been a golf cart, and I would have bought a golf cart, but the day that I went, it was raining really bad, and so I wasn't driving a golf cart that day. So yeah. Anyways, you guys, if you have any questions on conversion from US to Mexican pesos, please let me know. Now, this video is in 2022 and conversions change. And the reason I know conversions change is because my friend that I was telling you about told me that 2 years ago it was 18 pesos and now it's 20. So who knows, in a few years it could change some more. But sometimes I'm like, if that's the case, I need to move to Mexico because my money going a long way. My money is going a long way. If you're telling me $50 is $1,000, telling me $100 is $2,000, like that's some cheap rent. That's some cheap rent, you guys. Like, I could probably live in a mansion. You know what I mean? But the only way I would do that, and this is like side note, the only way I would do that is if I still had like American money job here, because obviously if you move to Mexico and you're getting paid in Mexican money, then Mexican currency, it's just not the same. But anyways, yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. I am doing a series on me and my travels to Cancun, so if you would like to check out that playlist, I would totally recommend that, just because I had so many questions before traveling and I could not find that many videos. There was mostly like how to avoid scam videos, and I'm like, yeah, that's great, but there's like little minor details that I wanted to know that I couldn't pull up on YouTube. So here you are. Hopefully this is helpful for you. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, or even like say, your girl, thank you, like whatever you want to tell me down below. If you have anything you want to add to this video, drop it down below, and people love reading comments, so I'm sure it will be read. But until next time, you guys, peace.